Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going out there? DAP11 here with another review. This time it's going to be from Star Wars The Clone Wars, The Rise of Boba Fett Ultimate Battle Packs, an exclusive from Toys R Us. You can see here that it comes with 5 figures and 2 ships. So you got Slave 1 and Mace Windu's Jedi Starfighter. Now, I was over at Danimals Diorama's channel. What's up, Dan? Highly recommend checking his channel out. He's got a really cool setup of Hoth and really nice man cave, Star Wars cave, if you will. So if you haven't checked his channel out, I highly recommend it. He's a good guy as well. So I was watching one of his videos where he's showing us his room and came across this, and I've never watched a video or a review. I'm not saying they're not out there because I'm sure there are, but I saw it, he came across it, and I was just blown away by how cool this ship looks. So I went on eBay and won a bid war. Well, it wasn't even a bid war. I was the only bidder. So got it, came in, and you can see from the back here, it has the 5 figures, the 2 ships, and hey, let's open it up and check it out in detail. And I want to, again, thank you, Dan. You inspired me to get this, and my wife is probably not going to be too happy I put a charge on the card. It's all good, though. Let's have some fun. Let me open it up. Okay, I just figured let's run through the figures real quick. I'm just going to do a quickie on here because with 5 figures and 2 vehicles, it's going to take some time. Well, anyways, let's take a look at Boba Fett, and young Boba Fett, I should say. So here we have him. He's got ball joint, or nope, no ball joint. He's got swivel at the knees. He's got ball joint at the elbows, swivel hands, or wrists, I should say. And I like the articulation on the head. It's on a ball, and rotation at the waist. The paint's a little off. You know, he's got that exposed red right there instead of black. Kind of dropped the ball on that. But I like the look. I like young Boba Fett here. Come on, let's get, there we go. So yeah, he's got the paint detail on the shoulders. I don't see the Mandalorian symbol there, but yeah, it's a nice figure. And of course, they got the battle cards, and here's his info on the battle cards. Unlucky. Not much leadership. Okay, Bosk here is not somebody I'm going to keep. I'll put him up on eBay or trade him or something. I have the Vintage Collection one, so I'm much more impressed with that. But let's take a look. He's got ball joint at the knees. Yeah, he's got ball joint at the knees. Ankles, okay. Same with the ankles. Same with the elbows. And, oh, he swivels proximal to the elbow. And here's his cannon. I do like the tubing detail here. It's not too bad. And he just doesn't look as cool. I mean, because of course this is like the cartoon design. I like the Vintage Collection one. And head rotates, and he's actually got good articulation, which is why this thing keeps probably falling off. So, I mean, he's okay. I'm not something I'd keep. I'd rather try to get a couple bucks for him. Try to pay at least to get a little bit of money back for the cost of this thing. Now here, you can see his stats. I'll just let you read them. He's got better luck than Boba Fett. All right. Now this is cool. First, when I saw R8B7, I thought to myself that he looked a little bit on the cheap side. But he's got these details here. As you can see, he's got the accessories, these tools that come out, which I like. You can put them back in there. I had to use the end of the box cutter to get these out. And then, of course, he's got back here a compartment. And he's got like a tow cable. It's pretty cool. And then when you spin his head, it retracts back in his body, and then you close that. So he's got little wheels on the bottom. And, you know, pretty cool. He's got all these details. And it looks like you have options of putting something on the side here. Oops. On the side of his, you can see that there. Little holes. I keep getting off camera. Sorry about that. So he's all right. Not too bad. Got another droid. Let's take a look at his info. All right. All right, Anakin Skywalker here. I like the wardrobe and the paint. See, I'm just, when I initially saw these guys, I just wasn't the biggest fan of the designs of their body. It's, you know, the cartoonish look, however you want to put it. But I guess it's growing on me a little bit. He's got good he's got good articulation. I keep getting off camera on the elbow or ankles here, bilat. He's got ball jointed knees, elbows, shoulders go up decently. Yep, it's not too restricted with his side armor here. See his lightsaber. Does he have the scar yet? I guess he does have his scar. Yep, he's got a scar. But yeah, I like this Anakin. He's pretty cool looking. Looks a little petite. But then again, wait till you see Mace Windu, his V-tapered waist. And he's got a spot here for the backpack. But yeah, not a bad figure. Let's take a look. Force ability 16. His battle skills. Wow, his luck is horrible. He's got worse luck than Boba Fett. I'll be darned. You know, gosh, with Boba Fett getting tagged in Return of the Jedi and falling into that Sarlacc pit, I would think that Anakin would have a little bit better luck than Boba. All right, now let's get to Mace Windu and his armor here. I've kind of mixed feelings on the armor. This armor on the elbows falls off very easily. But I like the paint detail. No articulation at the knees. Boo. None at the elbows. I'm sorry, at the ankles, but he does at the elbows and shoulders. Take his helmet off. Take his helmet off here. And then you got the features of his face. It's funny. You know, I see him as Mace Windu. I'm just waiting for him to drop the MF bomb. You know, Pulp Fiction style. I think that's the only reason why I had a difficult time with Samuel Jackson. Not a difficult time, but watching Samuel Jackson as Mace Windu, I just kept expecting cursing. But you know, I like Mace Windu a lot. I like his character. I like the fact that he can truly balance the Force with the dark side and the light side. So the more I learn about him, the more I like him. And there we go. So let's see what his skills are like. Force ability at 16, battle skills 15, 12, 8, 11. Dang, he's got less luck as well. Okay, now let's just take a look here at the parts that it comes with. I'm so glad that there's not like a huge sticker sheet. Oh my goodness, those things. So it doesn't look like I'll have too difficulty putting on the sticker, so I'll get to it, and let's get to the spaceships. Well, okay, here, let's start out here with the Jedi Starfighter from Mace Windu. And as you can see here, I put the droid in there. It is a pretty cool vehicle. I like it quite a bit. It's got nice paint detail. Let's start with that. As you can see here, it's got different color schemes. Imperial or Republic logo at that time. You can see here it has a cannon that you can pull out, push the button, cannon fires, as well as the two cannons on top. I don't necessarily need to push the buttons. I think you know what a firing cannon does, because if I fire it, it shoots across the room, and then I got to go search for it. And if I lose it, my son finds it, I'll never find it. As you can see here, the droid compartment fits the droid in. He fits in here a little awkward. You do have to take out that middle leg, but you pull it out and you can see there's more spacing here. Oops, my hand's in the way. So if you were to extend the droid's legs out here and keep them in there for any prolonged time, you would run the risk of warping the droid's legs, because he kind of fits, you know, the legs would fit right here, and it presses the legs. It would press the legs like such, and then you don't want your droid's legs to, of course, warp. So you do have to, I would recommend taking the leg out. Oops, don't want to tip that over. And just from age of being in there, it looks like the cockpit window kind of has that yellowing effect, slightly. So the details in here, as we can see, I like the fact that they did not just leave it completely barren. You do have a different color scheme for the seat, some silver in here, a little plastic, cheap plastic handle, and no stickers to go with or that was placed in there, but nonetheless, you can see it does have some detail, paint, and the design, so I'm pretty impressed with that. I would, though, have liked to have seen some kind of, sticker right here. Now let's get down to the gimmick of this vehicle. Well, let's show you from the back. You can see the thrusters. There's no paint detail for the thrusters. And again, that's okay. It's still a nice ship. So if you pull here and pull it back, sweet. Now you can send your droid off into battle or whatever, and you have a secondary ship. So it's like, well, literally 3, considering you have Slave 1, and then you have the, well, let me show you the rest of this. These, be very careful. You don't want to they're a little thin, so you don't want to bend them too much. But I like this concept. Here is how it looks from the back. And here is a front look. So it's a pretty cool, I like it. So let's get down to the Starfighter without that part. As you can see here, it's still menacing looking. Here it is from the back. So overall, I like it. It's pretty cool. I like the fact that they put a little extra into this, and you slide it back in here like such, and it goes in there nice and easy. It's a really cool gimmick. It's this whole battle pack I'm pretty impressed with. I'm really impressed with. I mean, you're literally getting 3 ships, 5 figures, and then playing cards, game, die, and whatnot. So let's get on to Slave 1. All right, now down to the meat and potatoes of this review. I'm going to shoot this again because I keep getting phone calls and it stops the recording. So take a look at this bad boy. Paint detail, the design, the molding, it's fantastic. It really is fantastic. Now, let me start here with this compartment. You can open it up, stays up on its own. I do want to point out, as you had seen before, the sticker sheet had like 5 stickers, and they went here, here, and then 2 on the front, or maybe they had 6 stickers. So those 2, 4, and then these 2 here. These 2 large ones and then 2 in the back that are kind of hidden were already there, and unfortunately these 2 right here were crooked. So that's a little bit of a bummer. It's like, why not just put all of them on there instead of just 2, put 4 on there and leave 6 for us to do, or, Anyways, that's just a small gripe. Nothing big. So you can see here it's got the foot pegs for our figures to stay or stand on. Now let me go ahead and show you Django here. And as Dan and Danimals Dioramas pointed out, this little peg right here, let me move this so you can see it, is to where you could put Django's backpack or jetpack. Though if you close this, will it close all the way? Yeah, it will. It kind of looked like it would stick out a little bit, but I guess it'll stay in there. You can see right here, this might just stick a little bit, but nonetheless, you can keep that pack there. That's a nice little cool detail, I think. So, and you can see in the upper right, there is something right here. It's a little compartment. I better stop messing with Django there. Let me close this. Oh. Move it around like this. Now, when you pull down like this, this pops out. And now here we have a compartment for our prisoners, or for the Boba Fett, or for Boba Fett or Jango Fett's prisoners. As you can see here, I went ahead and put Anakin. Now, I did try to put a thicker figure in there who's from a different era. I like Mandalorians, and I didn't have enough of them, so I've been starting to slowly collect my Mandalorians. And this baddie right here just didn't fit, but Anakin sure does. So when you get your prisoner, let me get him out of there. You just close it like this, and then you put it in there. Oops. Fat side to the front. And then you also have the ramp that comes out here. And I mean, I guess you could fit something small in there. You know, it's a cargo area. Can't quite fit the carbonate, Han Solo's carbonate piece in there. And again, if you put this down here, the ramp goes up, ramp to here, ramp to there. Now, probably to my biggest complaint, and has nothing to do with the design, it has to do with manufacturing the parts. Here we have a cannon, and here we have a cannon. And what do you know? I'm missing one. So Hasbro dropped the ball, and now I'm missing a missile, and I'll have to buy it on Amazon or eBay in the aftermarket. And you know how when you're missing a piece to something and you're looking for it, they're usually pretty expensive. So I'll have to yet spend more money to complete this. Now there's buttons on the back to shoot the missile, and I might as well just keep that one out to keep it uniform and looking the same. But unfortunately, yes, Hasbro forgot to package a missile. So that is that complaint. Just, I mean, I don't know. It's a little irritating that I'll have to spend more money, but the ship is so cool, it's hard to stay upset. Now you can see here on the side, here's the other side, the paint detail. Now see this button? Now this is to the bombs on the bottom. Now this is not, you know, it depends on your strength level or whatever, but this is not necessarily a light ship. It's probably about 6-7 pounds, I'm not exactly sure, but it's certainly not considered light by any means when you compare the other ships. But you can see the bombs here, and then here's the other one. Okay, and no paint detail on the bottom, which is interesting because there's so much other paint detail throughout the whole entire ship that I'm a little surprised that there wasn't any kind of detail on the bottom, like maybe color this in a little bit, just a little bit of silver or something. I mean, it's got paint everywhere else, why not on the bottom? And I understand that it just sits on its bottom, but it's still nice to just have a little bit extra detail. But hey, no biggie. And you can see here, let's drop the bomb. And the bombs are, as I showed you in the beginning of the video, they just go in like that. All right, so let me put this down and pan this back a little bit. Now there's some other detail I want to show. Now, of course, when you, let me move the little slave one out of the way and hold it like this. Now when she's in flight mode, we know that, oh, well, let me start off with this. I'm sorry. I'm getting, now this is the whole point. Now the canopy right here, as you can see, does not stay up. Be very careful with the hinges right here, because if you're not too careful, they could break. And you don't want to break something this expensive. Now, when we look at this, we can see 3 chairs, and they don't move like this. So you put your figures in. But and that's in landing mode with these like this. But as soon as you put it in flight mode like such, you can see that the cockpit moves. So now, when you land, oh, let me open this up. Sorry, the angle's all, kind of awkward. But see how it moves? And that's all dependent upon these being in flight and or landing mode. So now that she's in flight mode, you have when you have your figures in there, they will be able to look out of the cockpit. Pretty cool, huh? Not much. Well, here's the other two stickers. Not much detail in the cockpit, as you can see. But I like the fact that you can have 3 people in there. Pretty cool. No stickers, no paint right here. Kind of a bummer about that, but that's okay. Everything else is so cool. These stickers were already in here. And then here's something else that's cool, but let me put this in. There we go. Now, as you see, when you open this up, it's got more compartment. One more compartment in there. But I really haven't figured out. I mean, you could put your figure. Yeah, I guess that's just a nice storage spot. If you put 3 figures in here, and then you can put the other 2, though the droid might not fit in there. But you could still put more stuff in here, and that's kind of cool too. So this really is a nice storage ship. I mean, you got storage here. Then you have the storage back here for your prisoner. Then, of course, you have the compartment that was in there. So let's see the paint detail from the front. This is just really cool. I mean, look at that. Here's the side. Really, really nice deep detail. Different color tones. All kinds of depth and detail. And here as well. Look at just detail, detail, detail. So, my complaints were minimal about the, not having paint here and there, but, got to just tell it how I see it. So I'm very impressed with this ship. The biggest drawback is just the fact that they did not include, they forgot to put a missile in there. So we'll have to seek that out. Now let's do a comparison between this and Slave One from Power of the Force back from the early 90s or mid 90s. So here we have, get the focus on there. There we go. So there we go. You can see the detail of each one. My son tore the sticker off of this one. He's a little over 3, and yes, I let him play with some of my stuff. I don't mind. It's going to be his eventually anyway, so I got to teach him how to take care of his stuff, and hopefully it'll stick with him. And can't blame a 3-year-old for tearing something that's already loose off. And anyways, as you can see, at least he hasn't broken this one. Just a sticker, no big deal. That's my little buddy. So pretty big difference between the two. Of course, this is from, again, the 90s, and now we have the more modern one. So it's kind of cool. Since now I'm building up a Mandalorian army, I can just use this one for one of the other Mandalorians. So there we have it, friends. I hope I covered everything. I tried. I hope I didn't speed through some things. I didn't want to have like a 30-minute video. I mean, there is a lot to this pack. Again, you have the Mace Windu's Jedi Starfighter and the figures and all this massive detail with the Slave One. And out of a 9 to 10 scale, I'm going to have to say that I would give Slave One 9.4, 9.5 maybe. It takes a lot to give me a 10, but I'd say 9.2, 9.3. So it definitely gets a good A, and I would put it in my top 3 favorite ships. My others would be Legacy Millennium Falcon would be my favorite. The next for me would be the Legacy, it's not necessarily Legacy, but the modern AT-AT transport. with all that detail. That's my second. So this would probably be my third favorite ship. Now I like that Naboo Starfighter that I did a review on a month or two ago, but these three just have it. They have it in my top three. So I like it. I think I spent. What did I spend? What did I spend here? I think I spent $160 and then $18 for shipping. So it was the cheapest one that I could find that had the box. But as you can see, I paid the price by missing out on a missile, and I'll end up spending more just to complete it. But win some, lose some. I'm overly impressed, and I will leave this video with some pictures, some still pictures, so you can take a look, pause, whatnot. And I think that might conclude it. Yeah, I guess that's it. I'm trying to think of if there's anything I missed, because I haven't had too much time to take a look at everything. But this is just a beautiful ship. Very impressed. Again, I'd give it about a 9.2, 9.3 for a scale. I hope this helps anybody out there that is interested in buying this. If this helps you make your decision, I'm glad it does. But if anybody out there has any requests, I'll be more than obligated. I'm be happy to do a review on something if I have it. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate a thumbs up, maybe a subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And again, I want to say, if you get a chance, please check out Daniel's Dioramas. He's a great guy. He's got an awesome channel. I really like it a lot. He's got a really cool Hoth setup, a really good man cave of Star Wars toys. And stop by, see his work, say hi, subscribe to his channel as well. I'd highly recommend it. And we got a really good community here for our Star Wars action figure reviews, and I like it a lot. I like talking to you guys. So I'll try to do my best to answer any questions in the comment sections. And enough of me yapping here. Take a look at the pictures at the end. Again, thank you, everybody. Have a good one, and may the Force be with you. Goodbye.